for participating in people's first ever shopping event in partnership with Covergirl. This is so fun for me because I've been a Covergirl user since I was really young, and you are their newest ambassador. It was announced in 2020. And tell me just like a little bit about being an easy breezy, beautiful Covergirl, Lili.
It's surreal in a lot of ways. And I always kind of go back to the same memory when I was, I don't know, 12, watching America's Next Top Model and watching them do like their Covergirl commercials. And who would have thought I would be repping that brand today? An iconic brand that I've used growing up. Every time I, went to the drugstore or Target, was picking up, Lash Blast mascara and my Covergirl powder. So yeah, it is surreal and it feels crazy, and it's also like a nice little ego boost. Yeah, nice little pat on the back ego boost when I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going with Covergirl. Like that's just it's funny and it's weird, but
I feel like that needs a hair flip. Like I'm a Covergirl.
I can't. My hair's not doing it today. I had to put it up in like a little.
Well, like yeah, but it's the kind of thing that it is a big deal. But why was the brand such a good fit for you?
I mean, it just was organic. I never would want to partner with a brand that I don't actually use or haven't had any history with, I guess. So it just made sense that this brand is a brand that I was obviously very aware of, that I've used, that I felt comfortable with, that I supported. So in that sense, it was just like, oh yeah, I know I use Covergirl already. It's not something that's going to be facetious, me trying to rep and a brand that I don't even use. Covergirl is actually very much a part of my daily routine, especially now that I get every product they ever make, which is like, that's always, I've always got the refills for anyone who needs any. And also, I feel like Covergirl is very much moving with the times. They're not a stagnant brand. They're evolving and growing as a company. And I think that's kind of segues into clean beauty being such a powerful movement happening now. And the fact that Covergirl is bringing clean beauty to drugstores and making it accessible to a broad audience is something really wonderful. And that's also makes me really happy to be part of this team, basically.
It's really interesting that you use the word movement instead of the word trend, because I feel like clean beauty is not a fleeting thing. It's a movement that's going to be bigger and bigger. How long has that been important to you? Is that something that's new over the last year or so, or how did you start that journey with clean?
To be honest, I feel like I've been cognizant of clean beauty for a while because I struggle with acne. I've kind of needed to be aware of what I was putting on my skin, but especially the last couple of years being on Riverdale and working in film and kind of constantly having makeup on my face. Feeling like I have makeup on my face that isn't going to further my breakouts or clog my pores or make my skin situation any worse than it already could be has been extremely important.
And I'm really impressed that you are open about acne. For some reason, we treated it for so long as like a secret or something. And you would look at people on TV and in magazines and just assume they had perfect skin. So for you, who has such a huge fan base and so many young women, to say like, look, this is something I deal with, is actually a really big deal. Why did you feel you should share it? What made you feel like this is okay?
I mean, acne, unfortunately, is a part of my life. It's something I deal with every day when I wake up and look in the mirror. So it's kind of, it would be inorganic to not talk about it. For me as a person, I'm kind of, if I'm going through something, if I'm struggling with something, it's very hard for me not to talk about it and broadcast it out there, because it's a matter of wanting to connect to people about it. When I'm going through something, I want to talk to others. That's just my kind of coping mechanism. So when I started gaining a following and a fan base, and I was simultaneously breaking out, I felt like I wanted to share my struggle with whoever was listening, because it just, I wanted to know that I wasn't alone. And that sort of at the same time was letting other people know that they weren't alone and that I was struggling with it as well. It's just a matter of, I wanted to be grounded. I don't, looking glamorous on a red carpet, I don't want to catfish anybody, basically. I'm like, if people see me in real life, I want them to think, oh, she looks the same. And I have a fear, I think, of coming off in a way that's almost, that's not real or too polished, because I'm definitely not that as a person. So I want you to be able to recognize me from my Instagram. If you saw me on the street, walking my dog, I would look the same.
You now have this platform, like we were saying earlier, to really speak to these young women. I imagine a lot of people ask you for advice about beauty and skincare, and if they have acne, because you've been open. What questions do you get the most, and what do you sort of share with the people who want to connect with you on those topics?
Yeah, I mean, I think people ask the question, how do you feel confident in your own skin? How do you feel confident with acne? Mm-hmm. And I kind of think back to, it was after an event a couple years ago. It was the CFDAs. I had gotten my hair and makeup that day. I came home at the end of the day, went back to my hotel. I was alone, and I had gotten a cystic pimple over the course of a couple hours. Yeah. I remember laying in the hotel bed, and I just kind of had a little mental breakdown. I just started crying. I was really upset because of this acne that seemingly was not going away. I was questioning whether I needed to go on Accutane, which was a little overdramatic.
That's what I get too. And funny enough, I get them on my forehead as well. And I call them zip code zits, because they feel so big, they deserve their own zip code.
I kind of just came down to the realization that no one cares about your pimple except for you.
Yeah.
And that's a hard thing to stomach and to be like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But when you're hanging out with your friend and they have a pimple on their face, is that affecting you? No. So I think about that. I think, okay, what's going on my face may be annoying, and I may not feel super confident right now, but I know that I'm the only one who actually cares about this. And it kind of helps ground me in that moment, because if you have a pimple that's larger than life that you say is like a zip code, it's hard to think about other things, but you have to understand that it's only magnified to you. And it's only temporary, but also acne is something that I think so many young people are starting to just, we're talking about it openly. We're not ashamed of it. We're not caking our face with makeup to try and hide it. It's like, it's okay if you see scars. It's okay if hyperpigmentation shows through. It's not a huge deal. And I hope that keeps happening, and that trend keeps going forward. As nice as it is to have flawless skin with no pores, that's not human. And I think the more we normalize that and just keep that image of acne on your face being a normal thing, then that's great. I think that's the right direction.
Which brings me to your relationship with makeup. For you, was makeup a must because you're on set and you need to cover Or is it more of a fun, experimental? Is it both? Like, what's your relationship with makeup?
It's both. I love makeup. I think I grew up doing theater, community theater, and when I started to get into my teens, like 13, I started watching YouTube and watching YouTube tutorials.
Oh yeah.
And Michelle Phan was my OG. I love her. And I was just like, I started buying better products. I started saving up money for actually, you know, for quality products. And yeah, it was an experiment. I tried to follow the tutorials as well as I could as a unskilled teenager. But yeah, it was just fun for me. It was experimental. I definitely had a glitter phase, you know, throwing glitter on I wore glitter on my eyes every Friday in 5th grade. That was like my celebration.
That was your thing.
The weekend.
I love it.
And then that glitter went in my eyebrows, would be there for days after wearing it. That was cute. But now, even today, I do my own makeup for the show. And it's just like a very therapeutic process. I come in the morning. I'm not a morning person, so I don't necessarily want someone in my space talking to me, asking me a million questions right off the top of the bat. So it's sort of just like a nice Zen routine to come into set and do my own makeup and be in my own little zone for a bit before I'm ready to share my energy with other people. So yeah, it's calming, and then it's fun to experiment.
Yeah,
definitely. I love trying new things. I'm not super ballsy when it comes to trying the big trends, graphic eyeliner. I'm not the best at that kind of stuff, but I have such an appreciation for it, and I love, TikTok is a great place where I've seen a bunch of makeup trends, and I follow a lot of artists, and I'm just fascinated by those makeup artists on there.
I can't believe you do your own makeup. That's pretty awesome.
Thanks. I feel like it's not, it's not that hard, right?
I don't know. I think if you're going to go on camera for like a huge TV show, first of all, to have this skill where they trust you and know you can do it, the best, and that you feel confident enough in yourself to do it, that your face best, I guess is what it.
I do. And that's what it comes down to. I know my face better than anyone else does. And it's not that I don't trust other makeup artists. I definitely do. It's more so I enjoy doing it. I feel comfortable doing it. Mm-hmm. So why not? And I get to use, my CoverGirl and whatever products I need. I'm all about using my clean beauty when I'm on set, because I'm wearing makeup for upwards of 13 hours sometimes without being able to take it off. So it's important that I'm putting something on my face that is clean, and not that other people doing my makeup wouldn't use something clean, but it's just like, it's nice to
you have control
space. Yeah.
When, as an actress, makeup seems like such an important tool for the transformation of characters. Does it feel like it's important to you for the character to really get into the hair and makeup of who they are? That seems like such a fun process.
It is a fun process. I really do enjoy it. I think every character I've had the opportunity to play has their own, and that also helps with me doing my own, is I'm kind of making the character a little bit more grounded, knowing that, I did my face. Like, the character would do their own makeup. They wouldn't be getting it done. And so, for example, when I filmed Hustlers, took place in 2013, where I was, I wasn't wearing a lot of makeup in 2013, but I was, using those trends, and we were kind of making fun of the makeup styles back then, because they were amazing. So I had like a graphic cobalt blue eyeshadow on, and it wasn't supposed to look fantastic, and I did it, and it's supposed to look kind of like, she did her own makeup, because that's what she would have done. So that's, yeah, it also very much helps with that process, kind of feeling in your own skin, in your own character.
I would like picture you sitting down with like all your CoverGirl lipsticks being like, what color? Like what shade is she?
Yeah.
Pink, a neutral, like
right.
What's her vibe?
I try and stick to a lip color that's as close to my natural lip color as possible. That's kind of my go-to. So like anything rosy, sort of what I'm always drawn to.
Yeah, I was looking at all of the CoverGirl colors, and I chose for myself today very Sancerre, and I was like, it's very much my lip color, but I like it. I think it's great.
Yeah, I love that.
What's the thing then that you experiment with the most? Is it like eye, cheek, if you're like more of a neutral lip girl?
What do I experiment with? I feel like, definitely ways of doing my eyes. I think whether it's liner or I've kind of always been a girl who uses powder as my eyeliner. I don't really use like the, felt tip. That's intimidating to me.
It's like a surgeon to get the precise line.
Yeah, and I'm not that. So I use, like a point angled brush, and I dip it in like a dark brown powder and just kind of do like a soft little like cat eye. And that's what I've been doing these days. And that's kind of where my experiment, clearly I'm not experimenting that much, but I'm mostly experimenting with different products, I think, rather than experimenting on actual ways of doing my makeup.
Did you, like during the pandemic, a lot of people went what I call beauty feral, like I did. I just sort of stopped using mostly everything, and it wasn't cute, but it felt right for the time. And now I'm like ready for a beauty renaissance. Like, where were you during the pandemic, and then where are you looking forward to?
Yeah, definitely during the pandemic, I had, a treatment mask in my hair every day. Did not do my hair for like 3 months. Certainly didn't get it highlight. Yeah, that was a mess. But the face-wise, I really didn't wear hardly anything. I would do my skincare routine, and that was pretty much it, because it's not like I had anywhere to go or people to see or things to do. But when I started doing Instagram lives at one point during the pandemic, and that's when I was like, okay, I should probably maybe look a little more put together. So that's when I started doing my makeup again. And so far as the future, I'm definitely, when I'm not working, I like to keep it really simple. I definitely am a lash blast girl. I'm like a mascara and brows concealer kind of person. I just like those 3 products are my biggest products, and that's kind of what I'll do on like a summer day if I don't have anything else to do, or if I'm not on camera. Those are like the 3 products that I focus on.
You shot your own campaign, right?
I did.
Tell me about that a little bit. That's so cool.
Yeah, you know what? I enjoyed shooting that commercial because as much as I love photo shoots, to an extent, it's, commercials can be a lot. It's a production, and I think having the opportunity to be like, you have to shoot your own. I was like, okay, that's great. I love that. So we hopped on a Zoom with the CoverGirl team and talked about, the vision for the commercial and shooting it outside when the sun was out. I was in LA. I was at my house in my backyard. It took me 20 minutes to film. I mean, I had my phone. I literally still have all the clips and footage on my phone. I haven't deleted them. Just went in the backyard, put on a summery dress. The sun was out, luckily. I was with my dog, and I just shot a bunch of clips of my face and putting mascara on outside in the sun, which was, a trick. But it was a fun time, and it was like easy breezy, done, finished.
I mean, if you're not commercial to me of easy breezy, beautiful CoverGirl in your backyard, just like, here I am.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't like to take forever on my on my face. Easy breezy is my motto for makeup.
Okay, so now I'm thinking on your resume, actress, makeup artist, videographer, photographer.
Yeah, 100%.
Mm-hmm. Did your own lighting? I imagine.
I'll do my own makeup. Actually, that was no lighting. It was purely just the sun. It was gorgeous LA weather.
So what else do we want to add to that resume? Like, what's next for you? What are you looking forward to?
I would love to just keep honing in that actress situation. I don't get a break this summer. I'm basically, when we wrap Riverdale, I'm going straight to my next film, and then when that wraps, I'll come straight back here for season 6.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what, yeah, no break for me, no rest for the wicked, I guess.
So prior to this big event, we gave people the chance, people who registered, to ask you some questions, and one of the top ones was, what has been your favorite thing about being a cover girl? And you did talk a little bit about this at the beginning, but I don't want to let you leave without answering what the people want to hear from you, Liz.
Yeah. What is my favorite thing about being a cover girl? I would say the opportunity to represent a brand that is so iconic. I think even just saying that I've had the opportunity to be a cover girl is it's just a very iconic statement, and I don't wear it lightly. That's why I don't even realize that I have the opportunity to say I'm a cover girl until I'm doing an interview or I'm a cover girl. It's having the opportunity to talk about makeup in such a fun way, and seeing CoverGirl go with the trends of clean beauty, and I'm looking at like the clean fresh lip it's a tinted lip oil that I really love. Again, not a huge lip person, but I actually really like these.
Mm-hmm.
And so long story short, I would say the opportunity to rep a brand that is just a really good, affordable, good quality, changing with the times brand.
Oh, thanks, Lily.
Well, thank you to everyone who took the time to watch us chat today, all things CoverGirl. And make sure to get all your beautiful spring CoverGirl favorites from their Clean Fresh collection, and support the clean beauty movement.